I want to share two topics with you today that I think are very powerful in the Buddhist tradition, but it's also useful in other traditions also. The Buddha once said that there are two types of people that are very hard to find in this world. It's almost like if he was comparing to precious metals, right? It's like, well, what are the most precious metals in the world? You would say something like diamonds or gold or, these are precious metals because they're hard to find. And they're very valuable because they're hard to find. The Buddha said there are two types of people that are very hard to find in this world. I'm going to go backwards from number 2 up to number 1, okay? The second type of person that's very hard to find is the type of person who has the mentality of wanting to repay a kindness. So when someone does something nice for you, does a favor for you, does a solid for you, there's only a very few people who will actually put in the effort to return the favor. It's not just saying thank you. It's not just appreciating. It's the actual dedication to, I need to return the favor. Almost like saying, you incur a debt and you pay it the debt, right? Most people in the world, in terms of practicality, we don't pay our debts. We incur tons of debt, tons of kindness from people. People all over are being nice to us, supporting us, just being compassionate to us. We take it, but we don't actually think to return it. And if we do, we might not be returning it enough. So the Buddha says this type of person is hard to find. But he says the one that's the most hard to find, that the one who's willing to put themselves on a limb and do the favor first. Giving a favor without having to be asked, giving a favor first, without getting something first. No guarantees, no contracts, just giving. These people are the special people in the world. And he gave examples of these people, such as our parents. These are people that, I don't know how many people in here are parents, but if you think about it, like they carried us for 9 months. They worked, they sacrificed their relationship, their bodies, their lifestyles for how many years? While we couldn't talk, they taught us how to speak, they fed us, they cleaned us. They gave us life and they protected the life they gave us. This is the kind of gift that I don't know how many people could do that. Like it takes such a special person to be able to do that and to not give up on us, to not, especially the way things are nowadays with how children are so, selfish and naughty and ego driven and desire driven. Like it's really hard. And so for our parents to have done that for us, it, no matter, even if they were a good or a bad parent, they gave us life and they allowed us to grow. They deserve our thanks. They are the true gems of the world. But then it has a second part, which is the people who want to return the kindness. You'll see that like in many cultures and in many families, the children, they decide that like, I've been given this gift and I want to do something with it for my family. I want to become something so that I can give back to my family. When I become something, the first person I want to thank is my family, right? It's not like many people, but I want to use one famous example of Kevin Durant. He's a famous basketball player, probably one of the best ever. And when he won his MVP, which he was waiting for a long time to win his MVP, and he actually got it. MVP means most valuable player. And when he got up on stage to get his award, the first thing he said was, I'm not the MVP. The real MVP is my mom. So I can't say without getting emotional, right? It's like when they were poor, she was working. When he didn't have a father, she was his father. When, everything he needed, she provided. And she protected him, she guided him. He was only able to be successful through his hard work, but her support. He wouldn't be there without her. And that shows you another type of person. These people, many of them, the NBA players, the first thing they buy is they buy a car for their parents. They pay off their parents' home. They tell their parents that, quit your job, you're never working again. These are the people that repay their kindness. And these two types of people are hard to find. The second concept that I wanted to share with you was the underlying belief of Buddhism is in the concept of karma, which doesn't mean someone's going to punish you for what you do. It's basically saying that we believe that the way life is around us is a direct reflection of the inputs that we put in. Karma is basically inputs and outputs, inputs and outputs. And we have control over our inputs. And so when we put in something, we can expect something relative to that to come out of it, right? And we all live in a society where we input on each other, and that also outputs back to us. And so the main teaching of Buddhism is to control what you input to other people, control how you speak, control how you act, but also most importantly, control how you think. Because how you think controls how you speak and how you act. Your mentality, your attitude, these are all very important things. So going back to the mentality, there's so many concepts in Buddhism, which, such as like charity, faith, hierarchies, and one of the most popular is compassion. How do you arrive at true compassion? Is it through meditation? Is it through like sitting and meditating and chanting mantras that I will love all beings, I forgive all beings, I care about all beings? I would actually say no. That's not where true compassion comes from. That's where forced compassion comes from. Where true compassion comes from is when you figure out internally that we're not different. We're more the same than different. And that's the part that is so scary in the world we live in. We strive to be different. We try to be different. We separate each other on how tall you are, how short you are. We have a system for who's better looking, who's worse. We have a system for the color of our skin, how much money you have. Everything comes down to how different can we be? And that's where the ego comes in. Because we're different, I'm better than you in this angle. I'm taller than you. I have more money than you. I read more books than you. I can speak a more language than you. I'm skinnier than you. I play sports better than you. I have a better chess rating than you. Everything is always about how you're better, right? And when someone says, "Oh, I'm better than you," what do you think? Well, I have things that I'm better than you. And so, but that's the thing. In the end, we're all the same. In what angle? We're all subject to the same thing. We're all born, we all grow, we all get old, will get sick, and we all die. We all have people that we love. We all want things. And then when we get those things, we want more. We want things, and when we don't get it, we're not so happy. We're a little disappointed with life sometimes. We struggle with our emotions. We lose control sometimes. We let our emotions control us more than our thoughts. We're the same. When you realize that you're the same, that's when your mind takes over and tells you, how can you hate someone who's the same? How can you judge someone who's the same as you? And so in Buddhism, we strive to realize that concept, not mentally, but in your heart, that yes, there are details that are different, but the concept, but the structure is the same. And when you truly understand that we are the same, not just as people, but as things, as the elements, as rocks, as houses, we're all subject to the same forces. The force of the earth, the force of the world exerts force on us, and we have to react. When you realize that, that's when your mind's at peace. That's when you can't have hate in your heart, because hate comes from separation. We're the same. And so that in a nutshell is what we're looking for. We're looking for a path of how we can realize internally that we are the same, so that we can eliminate greed and hate and, separation through sameness.